Welcome back to another high-frequency explainer of the Philly stat line. I am just absolutely fired up today because as a lifelong Philadelphia sports fan, there is literally nothing better than when all of our teams are making massive, needle-moving headlines at the exact same time. We are diving straight into the numbers driving the conversation in Philly sports this Saturday, June 27th, 2026.
The summer heat is officially here, and today we're breaking down a monumental week. We've got a draft-heavy hardwood, a major division statement out on the diamond, and a physical puzzle completely solved on the gridiron. There is a whole lot of ground to cover, so let's just get right into it.
Section 1. The Hardwood. Sixers draft Labaron Philon Jr. So, the new era of front office leadership has officially logged its very first major milestone, holding the 22nd overall selection in the first round of the 2026 NBA draft on Tuesday night. Newly appointed president of basketball operations Mike Gansey made his intentions crystal clear. He is focusing entirely on dynamic backcourt depth. With that pick, he drafted explosive 20-year-old Alabama sophomore guard Labaron Philon Jr. And let me tell you the numbers on this kid, they point to a highly gifted offensive catalyst who brings some serious volume potential to Philly. Now, what's really interesting is just how dominant Philon was for the Crimson Tide this past season. We are talking about an incredible 22 points, 5 assists, and 3.5 rebounds per game. And he isn't just taking a lot of shots, he is making them count, shooting just over 50% from the field overall. That is the exact kind of high-octane offensive engine you want to inject into a modern NBA rotation. His touch from the outside is just as impressive. What really jumps off the page and makes him a perfect fit for our system is his remarkable efficiency from deep. He hit a spectacular 39.9% from three-point range, and he did it on a high-volume 6.2 long-range attempts per game. That's spacing, that's gravity, and that is exactly what we need to keep opposing defenses honest. Let's look at how this builds into our overall roster strategy, because this signals a fascinating directional shift. The Sixers actually acquired this specific 22nd pick by executing a trade that sent guard Jared McCain to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, with Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe already locked in as the primary long-term ball handlers of the future, Gansey is confidently doubling down on a loaded, high-scoring backcourt. He is stacking that offensive firepower. But hey, no prospect is perfect right out of the box, right? So the crucial point our internal developmental staff must address immediately is his size. Right now, Philon tips the scales at just 176 pounds. That means his immediate off-season training metrics are going to heavily focus on building up that physical frame. It is absolutely critical for him to add muscle so he can become a viable, high-leverage defender at the NBA level.
Section 2. The Diamond. Phillies surge in the NL East.
Switching over to the diamond, let's talk about the Fightin' Phils. The Don Mattingly momentum has officially manifested into a highly aggressive surge up the National League East standings. Just look at this run over the past week. It began with a grueling 4-game road set against the Washington Nationals. After dropping Monday's opener 4-1, the Phillies' bats completely exploded on Tuesday, launching a relentless offensive barrage in a massive 14-9 blowout victory. They carried that exact momentum into Wednesday night, grinding out a gritty, high-wire 5-4 win. Then, they closed out the Capital Series on Thursday with a commanding 10-5 triumph. Finally, looking to keep the division streak alive, they rolled right into Citi Field last night and suffocated the Mets in an absolute pitching classic, securing a brilliant 2-1 victory. That incredible Friday night win in Queens pushes the Phillies to an impressive 42-35 record overall. This surge firmly locks them into second place in the division. The Bats have found high leverage life, and you can literally just feel the energy shifting in this lineup right as the midsummer heat sets in. Now, what you really should take away from this streak goes way beyond just the final scores. It is their ability to consistently win close one-run games on the road. That gritty Wednesday win in D.C., that tight Friday night squeeze in New York, that is the exact, definitive metric pushing them back into the thick of the postseason race. Good teams win blowouts. Great teams win those one-run dogfights on the road. So with the Bats catching fire in Queens and the Sixers retooling the backcourt, you might be wondering, how is the front office handling the trenches back at the NovaCare complex as we inch closer to training camp? Section 3. The Gridiron. Eagles lock down Markel. Leave it to Howie Roseman to officially resolve his final major business headache of the spring. On Tuesday afternoon, the organization announced that third-round draft selection Markel has officially signed his 4-year rookie contract. That means all 8 members of the Eagles' 2026 draft class are fully signed, sealed, and delivered ahead of camp. And man, the numbers on this former Miami offensive tackle are absolutely eye-popping. They show exactly why the front office viewed Bell as a massive passion player. He stands at a towering 6'9", weighs a massive 346 pounds, and sports a historic 87 1/8 inch wingspan. You simply cannot teach that kind of physical real estate. But he isn't just big, he's incredibly effective. Check out these efficiency metrics from his senior collegiate campaign with the Hurricanes. They are near flawless. Bell started all 16 games at left tackle, logging 440 pass blocking snaps. And how many sacks did he surrender? Exactly 0. 0 sacks across 440 snaps against top-tier collegiate edge rushers. That is the kind of efficiency that gets Philadelphia fans right out of their seats. And here is where the front office masterclass really comes full circle. The draft choice used to land Bell, the 68th overall pick, was originally secured by Roseman in the Hassan Reddick trade. With Bell now under contract, Jeff Stoutland's offensive line room just secured a massive elite developmental asset. He's projected as the eventual long-term replacement for our legendary right tackle, Lane Johnson. The pipeline in the trenches remains stronger than ever. Before we wrap up today, I want to remind you that while the summer sports heat is officially here, true Philly fandom never rests. Whether you are tracking the run differential metrics in Queens, analyzing Philon's highlight tape, or breaking down the trenches for Eagles training camp, you need to do it repping the best streetwear in the 215. Shop the latest identity-driven athletic gear and Philly-inspired designs at inq.shop/product category/Philly streetwear. So, here's the big question I want to leave you with. We've got a massive, high-volume rookie guard adding firepower to the Sixers. We've got a towering offensive tackle anchoring the future of the Eagles line, and we've got a surging Philly squad winning the tough games on the road. With Philly locked in, Bell secured, and the Phillies rolling, are we looking at the foundation of the next golden era in Philadelphia sports? Think about that as the weekend rolls on. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep your eyes on the numbers that matter.